Hello, 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 and welcome to, I guess this is a movie review. Don't do many of those. Don't do many of those these days. But yeah, it's a movie review. And we're doing Superman. Superman 2025? What would you call it? There's many Superman movies, aren't there? But wasn't it called Superman Legacy to begin with? But now it's Superman, just plain old Superman. And yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It really is a good one. Starring David Corenswet as Clark / Superman, Rachel Brosnan as Lois Lane, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Edie Gathie as Mr. Terrific, who's a bit of a standout in this. Anthony Carrigan, best known from Barry as Metamorpho, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, Skylar Gazondo as Jimmy Olsen, and many, many more. Again, it's packed with people. Now, before we continue, and as we are enslaved by the algorithm, if you're lucky enough to actually be presented with this review, please give it a thumbs up to acknowledge its existence, because the algorithm is a vicious, miserable mistress who favours other channels over us smaller folk. But anyway, so yeah, I went to see Superman at the cinema at the weekend. Now, as a lad, I wasn't really a DC guy. I was more Marvel. Don't get me wrong, I read Superman comics. I did some Green Lantern, did some Green Lantern. Wasn't a fan of Batman. Never really, not really Batman, unless it's Adam West. 60s Batman, I'm all over it. But I wasn't really a DC comic book kind of guy. I favoured Marvel. I think you tend to fall that way, don't you, really? It's either one way or the other. But when Superman the movie came out with Christopher Reeve, I was taken to it with my father, and it was one of those iconic moments, because I would have been 7, I guess. 78 it came out. Yeah, I'd have been 7, and it was in the old days. It was in the 70s when they used to just rerun the film. So my dad fell asleep, so I get to watch it twice. I get to watch Superman twice, and it left an impression. Superman 2, I don't know if I saw that one at the cinema, because in the interim period my father left set up a family with someone else. These things happen. I don't think I saw it at the cinema, but then part of me thinks I did, but I don't think I did. Your memory plays tricks on you. It's because I've seen it so many times since. But I definitely saw Superman 3 at the cinema with Richard Pryor in. And as for Superman 4, never seen it. Superman Returns, enjoyed that, went to cinema to see that. Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, smashy, crashy, you know what I mean? Not much character development in it. It's all, look how we can smash the city up. That was really the point of those movies. But with Superman, we see something unique. You see Superman, the comic book Superman, presented on the silver screen for the first time. It's proper comic book Superman. And I got a bit emotional during it. I did. Got a bit emotional because it's the theme. They used the old John Williams theme. And Corenswet, he plays it like, he plays it earnestly like Christopher Reeve. And Brandon Routh. Everyone forgets him. He was in Superman Returns, which again I enjoyed as well at the time, because it was a direct continuation of those Richard Donner movies. And so this film is 2 hours of, there's not an inch of fat on it. They pack a lot of story in. Probably too much story. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like James Gunn. Again, show the t-shirt off. Bit of a deep cut there. James Gunn is a guy who he He likes to tell a story. If you've seen any of his other movies, he even managed to make a decent Suicide Squad movie too. Go and watch that. But with this, you can tell this is somebody who loves the comic books. He loves the source material because of just how much is in there. If you don't like Superman or the Superman comic books or whatever, you're not necessarily going to get this. You're not going to like the way it's told. It opens with Superman, spoilers, getting beaten. You see that in the trailer. So is it a spoiler? And Krypto, the dog, rescuing him, which is a nice setup. Again, in the comic books, Krypto is in the comic books. You wonder if it's going to work in the film. You think, is it going to be corny? I loved it. I thought it was great fun. That's the thing, fun. It should be called Super Fun, not Superman, Super Fun. And it kind of carries on from there, because again, in this you have stakes at the beginning. Of course, we know Superman's going to win, but you don't tend to see him getting beaten from the outset. That sort of thing happens at the end, but Gunn subverts expectation. We don't need another origin story. We don't need Superman, we don't need to do all that stuff. We can just hit the ground running, and that's what he does here. And the good thing about this is every plot point, there's no loose ends. Everything's tied up. All the motivations are in place. From Lex's God complex, he wants to be a king. And that's why he hates Superman. That's there again. Nicholas Hoult is. Was it scenery chewing as Lex? Again, he's a techno bro. Again, it's a thinly veiled jibe at the billionaires that we have at the moment. But again, it pulls the Superman mythos into the real world. You see conflict, You see conflict between two opposing countries, which you can draw parallels to real life events which Superman involves himself with, and that causes the ire of social media. This is really Superman versus social media. That's really what the film is, and that's really clever. I think it might be lost on a lot of people because it passes so quickly. A lot of the plot point passes so quick because it's breathtaking in its execution, and I like that. One of the longest scenes, funny enough, is the interview scene with Lois and Clark / Superman. Again, that kind of echoes the Reeve, Kidder scene in the original movie from the 70s. But this time she knows that Clark is Superman, so there's a different dynamic to it. It lasts for about 12 minutes. It's one of the longest scenes held in the... And I like that scene. I think it's really well good. And again, Brosnan plays Lois Lane perfectly. She's, go get 'em, spunky kind of reporter like she should be. Not useless like some of the other Lois Lanes we've seen in recent movies. They give her something to do. Again, everybody in this has something to do. Even the supplementary characters like Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. Hawk Girl's lethal in it. And again, those characters are well utilised. They're introduced. Again, you don't need to know their history. It's all there. My only thing is, I wonder if you don't know about those characters, how you'd come to the movie. You may think, oh, who's that? Who's that? What? But again, for many who are watching this, they're going to know who, the Green Lanterns are, or Hawk Girl. They're going to know who those characters are. Gunn isn't interested in doing introductions. He's just about getting the story through, and that's it. Again, for those of us who know the characters and the characters that are featured in this, some of the plot points are kind of signposted. You know where it's going to go. That's what you get for knowing the mythos of the character. So, certain plot points weren't shocking to me, but may have been shocking to others. But yeah, I thought it was a great romp. It was just fun. It was dopey comic book fun, and that's how it should be. Whereas in the past we've had all this dark misery, slate grey. This was sunshine, and even though it's it is dark in places, there's one scene in it where I actually gasped and went, oh, I can't. But again, I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible with this. But it was a scene that was so shocking, but necessary because it gives another character motivation. Again, Gunn's good at doing that. He sets up character motivation really well. But it was a shock that I actually swore. Actually, flipping heck, I went. And yeah, I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, a few tears were shed. There's some really great cinematography. There's some great iconic bits. The robots are fun. Crypto's a naughty dog, but hey, lovable. And there's a cameo at the end and a post-credit scene which is utterly pointless. But we stayed. We got our money's worth. But I loved it. I thought it was really good, and I'm glad that DC has decided to put fun at the heart of those characters again. You can still tell stories, serious stories. It can still be serious, but it can also be fun. But I don't think it was too quippy. A lot like Marvel. I mean, the problem with Marvel is it can get dark and they can quip and spoil the atmosphere. Here, I think it all worked really well. And at the end of the day, it's all about fathers and sons. That's what these stories are, and I think that's probably why I always get a little bit emotional about it, especially when that theme plays, because it really does take you back to that cinema, that smoke, that fug of smoke-infused cinema in Leighton back in the mid-70s. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really great. I had so much fun since the Minecraft movie, which was dopey fun as well. And I think this is what we need. Movies are meant to be escapism. This is escapism. It knows its subject matter. It knows we don't need to retread everything. And this is all part of a 10-year plan that Gunn's got for the DC universe. Whether or not he can sustain it will be interesting. We've got Supergirl out next year, which, again, if it's this, this was good. I reckon Supergirl could be another one to go and see. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I thought they might have maybe tackled a different character, doing two supers back to back. I don't know. But you never know. You can't doubt Gunn. He's got a plan. He's very good with his scripts and very good at doing, these. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. These long form stories, and yeah, I thought it was absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Loved every minute of it. Laughed, cried a little bit, and everything in between. And yeah, put the fun back into cinema. That's what we need. No more misery. No more. Now what he needs to do now? Do 60s Batman again. We need 60s Batman back. Anyway, that's the review. Go and watch it. I loved it. That's it. But then I'm easily pleased. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is ta-da.